Hi. I thought I would talk through a little bit about how to route multiple audio sources into a, uh, a, a application you may be using to teach music online. A lot of us are having to now adjust to teaching online and remotely, making a lot of instructional videos and things. And I found early on that I needed a solution to route multiple audio sources from my computer into the application that I'm recording with or streaming with. That could be Teams, that could be Zoom, that could be QuickTime, anything that you're using to record yourself teach. And in a music setting, there are lots of tools that we often use to make sounds and to record ourselves with. So I thought I'd step through a little bit of what I've found to be useful, some free solutions, some not free solutions, and some ways to get this done. I made a video before about how to use OBS to make a video, and this is what I'm using to make this video, so it'll be hard to show you the audio routing in OBS. It's a pretty great piece of freeware that allows you to turn your computer into basically a television studio, so you can route multiple scenes and multiple sources. But I would like to show you and sort of demonstrate what's happening in this case. I have a drum machine making sounds. I have a synthesizer in Ableton Live, and I've got a MuseScore file that I have some notes on, and they are all able to be routed into my video making source so that you can hear the output. Also, so you're talking about multiple applications. You're also talking about audio from your browser, and also audio from this microphone that's coming into my audio interface. So let me switch over to the desktop, and I'll show you how I'm able to do that. Basically, let me get rid of OBS here. So the program that I found that is free and awesome is called Jack Audio Connection Kit. The Jack Audio Connection Kit is downloadable here. I would choose the binaries link. The second one gives you a folder that I didn't quite know what to do with, to be honest with you. So this first one I think is the better one. It's a zip file, and you install it to your computer. For Windows, you would go down here and install the appropriate Windows source. You can even get it for Linux if you're a Linux user. And when you install it, you get two things installed. You get this Jack folder documentation, always helps. The pilot and the Jack control application. I was initially using the Jack Pilot one, which is basically a stripped down version of what you need, and it runs this tiny program in the background. But the easiest one, or the better one, is this Jack Control. It's got this awkward name, but it's Jack Control. Double click on it, and it gives you this little window. This little window allows you to see sort of what you're doing internally, and basically you're starting a session that you are routing audio to different things. Now, this is setting up basically a routing application inside your computer. And so you can send things to it and then send audio out of it. So if you go to the patch bay, you can kind of see, if you click on patch bay, you kind of see the details. Your system, I have a 6-input interface here at home, and so this has got all those listed. You basically also, this is looking for your system ins and outs. That I control on Audio MIDI setup here, and that is my interface up here, which is where audio is coming from. So this Jack router is another audio source for your computer. It's another audio quote-unquote device, even though it's a program. Anyway, it's basically going to route all of these things. So I have Ableton Live set up and running. Its output is set to this Jack audio connection kit. So let me show you that. So if I've got Ableton Live running, I basically send its audio output, and so any application will have audio output settings. Your audio output will go to the jack router program instead of your normal outputs. For instance, in MuseScore, I have a simple MuseScore session going here. I go to Preferences, I go to I/O, and your output device is going to be jack router, not your normal output. And you hit apply and OK, and it should be happy. Your browser is a system, uses system output by default. So if I want to play this fresh drum beat for my students, I have to establish that my audio is going to go to the system output is going to go to jack router, which jack router automatically does. So my system output is going to go to the inputs here. So that shows you kind of the details of it, and you can make specific connections with the Connect tab. But mostly, I think its default settings are pretty okay as long as you route your applications to jack router. Now, to come back to your recording software or your other software, this might look weird. This is OBS, and it's basically showing me an image of my desktop, which is almost like a mirror, which is kind of weird. So this is going to look a little strange. But if you go down to audio sources, I can now select input source for OBS to be this jack router. So if I go to add, I would go to audio input capture, and now it's an option. So if I were to create new, starting from scratch, I would click OK, and then choose the device as jack router, and it'll listen to all the audio you're sending to jack router, if that makes sense. And then when you hit record, let me get rid of that. When you hit record, your audio from jack will go into your recording or whatever you're using to make videos or streaming or teaching or what have you. There's another option, that another product out there. It's called Loopback, and let me get rid of this window because it's kind of a trip to look at. Loopback is a little bit more fancy version of this. It has the same kind of window to control your inputs and outputs. This one I think is a lot more user-friendly. This was $100 from Rogue Amoeba, and I think there's a free version of it. I'm not sure what the limitations of the free download is, but I just decided to sort of, try to invest in this. It's great for these reasons, as I've said before, and for routing multiple audio sources into other applications like Zoom, Teams, OBS, QuickTime, any sort of movie making instructional environment. So I hope that helps. If you have any questions, you can definitely let me know. I'll try to help, but basically I'm able to route multiple audio sources, even my microphone. I have a guitar hooked up to I have a bass guitar hooked up to my interface. I've got external audio, I've got internal audio, and it's all going to one application on my computer, and that can be really, really useful and powerful if you're using your laptop to teach, which we all are probably going to do. So take care. Hope this helps. Bye.